Hi guys, I'm talking today about my HSG and saline ultrasound that I received. I got the HSG done about 6-7 months ago, and that was to make sure my fallopian tubes weren't blocked. So, if your fallopian tubes are blocked, then that means you really should go straight to IVF because there's no way for your ovaries to produce an egg. So my RE said, you should take a couple of pain meds like Advil or Tylenol before you go in because it can cause a lot of cramping. That didn't really scare me too much. I was like, oh, okay, cramping. I actually didn't really experience any cramping with my periods, maybe because I was on the pill previously, but it didn't really seem to scare me. But I have to say that so far, the HSG has definitely been the most painful thing I have done in this process and probably the most painful thing I've ever felt. I did not expect that at all. I didn't expect for, the dye to cause so much pain in the moment. They shoot this dye up into your uterus, which goes into your fallopian tube so they can see if your fallopian tubes aren't blocked. And I literally yelped out in pain on the table. And afterwards I cried in the bathroom, I cried in the car afterwards. And then I kept having these cramps and like uterine spasms for, I would probably say it kind of lasted for the next 3 or 4 days. I mean, obviously it let down as the days went by. But that felt like torture. That was not fun for me, and I'm kind of glad I didn't look up a lot of things on the internet about it, because I might have been totally scared into not doing it. And everyone's different. I've read other people's accounts and they say, oh no, it's no big deal, and everyone's body is so different. I just happen to respond that way. And then into my IVF cycle so far, I got a saline ultrasound done last Friday, and that is to make sure that I don't have any polyps or fibroids or scar tissue in there, so that way the embryo can implant properly when it comes to the embryo transfer time. I was told it wouldn't be as painful as the HSG, and it wasn't. It definitely was uncomfortable. It felt cramping in the process because of the fluid being pushed up there. It's just not a pleasant feeling at all. And then my RE actually had to put the speculum up me 3 times because he couldn't get a proper place to get a good picture. And so that was super uncomfortable of him putting the speculum up there and the catheter 3 times in a row. He was like, oh, we may have to, call you back later to, do the procedure where they put the camera up there. So he was bound and determined not to have to do that. So hence the 3 times trying, which I'm happy, because anytime, fewer times that I would have to come in is better. But with that, it was strange. I feel like I had more after pain. That night, I got a pretty bad splitting headache, and I had, pretty bad cramps where I was starting to tear up from them. And then that night, my sleep was restless. I woke up early because it was hurting. I was emotional and crying. At this point I was on my 3rd day of Lupron injections, so then I was thinking, well, maybe this is from the Lupron injections. But then I woke up Sunday morning and I felt really good, and I thought, I think that was from the saline ultrasound. So I feel like there was more painful after effects of the sonohysterography. Yes, I got that right. Whereas the other one, the HSG, there was more pain in the actual procedure. So like I said, everyone's different. This is just my account of what happened. And as far as the saline ultrasound goes, I have no polyps or scar tissue or anything. So I won't have to get surgery to get any of that removed. So I'm free and clear to move on with my IVF cycle as planned. So it was all worth it in the end because the news was good on that. So I'll keep you updated on what's next.